How's it going, everybody? This is going to be part 3 of the heroic guide for Warcraft Rumble. Now, luckily for us, we're going to use 6 units for every single stage and every single family to get through Duskwood. It's going to net us a lot of gold to play around with, but I do want to warn you, this is probably the end of the Universal Army rule. We're going to have to sprinkle in some niche units here and there once we get into Stranglethorn Vale. We'll see, though. I'll try and figure it out, see if we can make some sort of strategy, map it out, and make it work. But if this video helps you, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so we'll start by tackling Goulia. Goulia is a very interesting boss, but luckily for us, we do have a universal army for all 5 of our families. And that army is Quillboar, Harpies, Execute, which is very important here, Blizzard, Safety Pilot, and Whelplings. Now, we do have a substitute if you have your Earth Elemental bigger than your Quillboar. This is an excellent opportunity to flex that, as it's going to take hits much better from the boss. And we have a very clever way to beat this boss. It is a nice, cool 300 gold in your pocket if you follow this tip. Alright, so let's get in there, we'll talk about it, and we'll do the gameplay. So the reason Goulia is kind of a very easy heroic boss is because she's the only boss that doesn't start with full life. If you look up here, you'll see that she's going to start with 50% life, and that makes her super susceptible to execute spams. It's going to take half the amount of executes it would normally take to get through the boss, which means we only have to stall half as long. So that is going to be our main focus, dropping execute on the boss whenever we can, but we're going to have lots of obstacles in our path, particularly the Necromancer Ghoul Wave on the right side, and then we're going to have Ogre Mages, Darkspear Trolls, Ghouls, Dragons, all that is going to come on the left side, and we need to answer those units. But you gotta be careful. If you were to kill this Necromancer wave right here with a quick Safety Pilot and your Whelplings, they will then go attack the boss, and as soon as they reach these stairs, they're going to be immediately killed by her AoE attack, and then she's going to go eat their bodies. She's then going to gain full life if she eats, I believe it's 5 corpses total, get enraged, run to your base, and take it out. So what's our strategy? Well, we're going to stall as much as we can so we can keep dropping executes. We're going to let the enemy waves get to about the top stairs here or the end of this hallway before we take them out. The reason we do that is because, well, they're going to get weak when they take the enemies out. And then they're going to start walking up and they'll be taken out around the mid-level of each lane before they reach the boss's range. So the boss will not eat them and we get to just continue that cycle until we execute the boss down. Now, around the 4th execute, we're either going to have too much control and our units will be going towards the boss, or we're going to have a lack of control and we're going to finish the boss off. It's a little stressful, but it's actually very easy to deal with. We're going to make sure we have our Blizzard, Execute, Quillboar, and Safety Pilot ready for Goulia. You're not going to want to drop your Whelpling eggs. They get taken out before they can do anything, unless, of course, you need to just tap her in and you have that Flame Burst talent. Alright, let's get down to the fight. Oh, looks like I got Execute right away. We got a Blizzard, so I want to Blizzard that right side. That way I do not have to worry about my units reaching the boss, right? Because Blizzard, obviously, there's no unit associated with Blizzard, so we don't have to worry about the corpses getting eaten. And now we'll wait. We're going to wait till they get around this area, just like we said. A Necromancer is fantastic on the left side. The biggest issue with this army is that because we have so many flyers, if the enemy doesn't have anti-flyers, your units reach the base. And that's a problem. But that's why we're throwing most of our flyers on the left side, because like I said, Darkspear Trolls, Necromancers, and I believe even Drakes and Ogre Mages. Oh, we got another Execute. Drop that on the boss. She's down to about 30% life now. We're a little bit overwhelmed on the left side now, so what I'm actually going to do is I'll wait and I'll drop the Blizzard right here to avoid taking unnecessary damage. I don't see any flyers, so I'm a little hesitant to send my Harpies, but I will anyway. And now we see we have another Execute coming. And there's our Troll Spear to take out our Harpies, and this wave will take out our Safety Pilot. That's fantastic. Oh, Safety Pilot, please don't kill. Perfect. So we did lose our Harpies before the Safety Pilot killed that Troll Hunter. I think I'll drop a Hogger down here just so I can get to my Execute. Perfect. We didn't cleave that Necromancer, unfortunately. Oh, we didn't take out that Necromancer on that side either. I'll drop a Blizzard over there in a second. Just want to make sure we take out this Troll. Drop our Blizzard here. Let's probably take out the 5 Skeletons. That's even better. Very, very nice. We see we have a Necromancer here. He'll take out the Whelpling Egg, so we got to drop our attack right now. I'll even drop a Quillboar to stall out this Ghoul. And now we're in a good position. And we have another Necromancer coming in with Execute getting its cooldown up. So we'll drop that on the boss. Looks like we need 2 more Executes or 1 Blizzard and an Execute or maybe a Safety Pilot. There's a lot of combinations we could do here. Quillbore is nice and slow, so it's not going to reach that side before the next Necromancer wave comes in. We got a Dark Spear Troll up there. That's great. So we can throw this on top of the Necro. All right, fantastic. I'll let that Quillbore die before I address that side. Let's drop our Blizzard. Let's drop Harpies here. Oops, that's not Harpies. That's a Hogger. And we'll finish the boss off with this Execute. We'll just cycle through, throw a cheap unit down, wait till we get the 3 gold, and that should finish it. If not, we'll drop the Safety Pilot and call it a day. There you go, guys. So that's what we do with Goulia. We're stalling, but we're making sure we don't get the push in. We're just unbounding her down to death. And if we need to, we can drop a Safety Pilot. We could turn the boss around with Quillbore and do like a final push attack if we're getting overwhelmed. But with proper execution, see what I did there? You could just execute the boss down. All right, let's get on to the next fight. All right, so Mor'Ladim is next, and this is probably the most difficult stage in Duskwood by far. I would equate it to Old Murkai, where you might want to come back to this one after you've done the rest, got a bunch of gold, got a bunch of experience, and tackle it from there. And although we have a universal army of Quillbore, Harpies, Execute, Blizzard, Safety Pilot, Whelplings, our leaders are actually going to help us quite a bit here. Tyrion is going to be super useful here, or Jaina, whichever you prefer. Chargla is going to be replacing Hogger here, not because she's useful, but because with this current deck, because there's two gold pieces, it's going to somewhat make it cheaper to drop some abilities. Hogger's just completely useless. Rend is going to be great because he's going to make our flying units cheaper if we get the gold to play him. Sneed is going to be fantastic for that first tower. Is going to give us additional gold, let us snowball further, and Baron Rivendare is Baron Rivendare. But let's get into the map. Let's talk about why this is such a difficult stage, and then how we're going to approach it in the gameplay. So this boss has 2 core mechanics. That circle that he has, if you die within that circle, your unit, it's going to spawn a skeleton mage, and then it's going to obviously be turned against you. But the more important mechanic is the hordes of enemies. So on the left side and on the right side, they will spam spawn hordes of undead. We have anti-flyer units in there, some more mages, regular skeletons, and 2 very tanky ghouls, and they just overwhelm you in numbers. So how we're going to approach that? Well, we're going to be dropping our Whelplings, our Safety Pilot, and Blizzard on top of these hordes, obviously not all on one side. We're going to wait till it gets to the tower for the first wave to grab that tower nice and early so that it kind of acts as a stalling mechanism for the left side. But before we throw in Harpies, and while we throw in the Safety Pilot, we also want to throw in maybe an Execute or a Blizzard because we need to take out those anti-flying units. Sorry, I misspoke. Whelplings before the Safety Pilot. We need to take out those anti-flying units, or if you have Flame Burst and you could position it really well right in the center mass of the undead, then you can kill them with that talent. It's going to be an absolute slog. It's probably going to take the entire time, after which we'll be able to dive bomb the boss. When we start getting some good work on the boss, you're going to find gargoyles are spawning, abominations are spawning, and that's going to be another excellent use for our Execute. All right, let's do some gameplay. And you can see they spawn in right away, and there is just an absolute nightmare of them. So I'm going to let them get towards the base before I drop my Safety Pilot and Blizzard to take out the left side. I'm going to wait till they get near the gold mine to take out the right side so we get those skeletons at the same time. So Safety Pilot, Blizzard, Whelplings, center mass to make sure I'm getting the 3 skeletons. And now I actually have to send a Harpy here to take care of this gargoyle, and I'll execute it as well to kind of speed that up a bit. So we didn't get our objective yet. Let's see if those Harpies can get it done. Our base didn't take too much damage. Remember, you could always use your base as kind of a way to establish a little bit of a cushion, right? I have 1 Harpy. I'll drop the Blizzard to see if I could save that Harpy. I absolutely did. That's fantastic. And once again, you see we have enemy extra skeletal mages. Those are our units that made it to the boss. Now we're going to use our Whelplings. That's going to take out all of those, and then we get to attack the boss. I'm very tempted to try and throw in my Quillbore there to get some extra damage, but that is just asking for trouble. Instead, let's cycle through our deck, and now I'm glad we are using Chargla, right? So we have to do a 4 gold cost Kobold, and that's going to help us here. So now we got to deal with the left and right side. We don't have the best opening for this. I'm going to let them get to the tower. The tower is going to stall them out a little bit for me. And once those mages get in range, I'm going to drop the safety pilot to make sure we take them all out at once. There we go. That should do it. We'll drop a blizzard on the right side. That'll take out the casters. And then I could drop my whelplings over here. And I could drop my execute to recapture the tower and take that ghoul out. Fantastic. I see I do have 3 gold mine there. We got a 4 gold cost kobold. The ups and downs of Chargla. Now hopefully the safety pilot is going to take out the center mast right away. He does. Well, she does rather. There's just one little skeleton mage left that's going to annoy us. Let's take this group out here. That was a really bad safety pilot positioning. We still left one of the mages alive. Now we have the abomination. We need to save. Oh, we tried to save the harpies, but we didn't get that blizzard down in time. So now we'll use our whelplings here. The splash damage should be enough, but we'll use execute on this abomination anyway. That's going to help us out a lot. And you can see 1 minute left. There's been no good work done either way, either on my base or the boss's base. I'm just sort of maintaining right now, which is perfectly fine. We're going to throw our 4 gold guys over here, letting my gold kind of build up a little bit. Safety pilot on the left side. And then I'll drop a blizzard on the right side. Unfortunately, those harpies, they are just going to die. They were just to kind of stall out here. All right, there we go. Safety pilot will recapture that left side. That's good. We're going to need that base for when we do our final push. I'm actually going to send my Quillbore in to try and give my safety pilot a little bit of... Oops, I didn't send him in. I said I was going to send him in to try and give my safety pilot a little bit of cover. I'll drop my kobold up here, see if he can get that gold. That's actually in the clear. And we got to deal with that meat wagon, unfortunately. We'll wait till they're attacking our base, all the skeletons. Hate having to do this, but now that we're in the extra gold, we can kind of afford to spam our abilities. This is what we've been waiting for. You see how ugly it got. I wasn't kidding when I said this node was an absolute nightmare. Let's drop that. Now we got to just dive bomb the boss as best we can. Turn the boss around. Hit it with a nice execute here. Make sure our base is safe. We'll drop one of these. One of those. We still got to protect our base. We got 30 seconds. That last minute feels like a rush. And I mean, it is. But you still got to make sure you're not losing your base here. 20 seconds remaining. The extra gold is certainly helping. I'm not sure if it'll be enough in this current attempt, though. We got a 2 gold blizzard, and that'll probably wrap it up for us. So you could see that this is an absolute nightmare. Strongly suggest, strongly suggest doing this one last, getting extra experience, getting extra gold, maybe get a talent on your harpies, get those, the venomous swipes on. I'm definitely going to be hunting for that one next. Or Bloodlust on Execute is another amazing talent. Extremely difficult node. Is there an easier way to do it? Yes, outlevel it. That's the easiest way to get through this node. Let's move on to the rest of Duskwood. Alright, Morbent Fel is next, and luckily, after Mor'Ladim, it gets way easier. These are going to be a good way to get some tome experience, get some gold, and head on back to Mor'Ladim after. So we still are going to use our universal deck, and we're not making a single change. So we got Quillbore, Harpies, Execute, Blizzard, Safe Pilot, and Whelplings. And of course, those Whelplings with the Fire Burst is going to be very helpful here. All right, let's get in there, talk about what's going on, and then do the gameplay. So Mor'Ladim, or Morbent Fel rather, I'm sure has some mechanics, but we're not really going to be worried too much about them. We're going to treat it exactly like regular, where we're going to escort this priest up to the boss, pop that shield, and then we're going to nuke him. This is going to be a super quick one. Any leaders that you could use to help yourself, like Baron Rivendare is great here. Tyrion, I'm sure, would be fine. But for the most part, we're using our unbound units to take out this necromancer, join the priest when she reaches Mr. Fend here, and then he's just going to die. All right? Nothing crazy there. Once this necromancer gets around the gold node, that's when I'll probably use my unbound units, and I'll probably wait until the priest is around this gold node here as well before I send on my harpies, because they're a nice fast unit. All right, let's do the gameplay. So I got harpies, I got execute, I got a safety pilot. Let's just get rid of our kobolds so we have more freedom in what we do here. All right, let's throw that down. We'll throw our harpies to match. Alright, as long as we keep her alive, we're good. You see the harpies? Maybe I should have waited a bit longer for the harpies still. Let's drop the whelplings and let's drop the quillboar to get some tank action going. We'll drop Blizzard as soon as we see an enemy unit. The enemy units are not trying to come out here, so let's just drop all the spells. We'll drop the safety pilot. Look how bad I did that, and we're still just going to walk over it. That's all you need to do for this node. All you got to do is let her get some ground, take out that necromancer with your safety pilot, your whelplings. If you got to use your blizzard, use your blizzard. Send the harpies at the right moment so it all reaches her. Don't do what I did with the whelpling eggs. Either throw them ahead of time before the harpies reach so it gets popped, and then quillboar it, and this is just such an easy win. All right, let's move on over to Blind Mary. Alright, so Blind Mary is next, and she's a very difficult boss, more in line with Mor'Ladim than Morbent Fel, but not nearly as chaotic. There's a lot more control we can imply against Blind Mary. And we're going to do that with the exact same army we've used for this entire zone so far. Quillboar, Harpies, Execute, Blizzard, Safe Pilot, and our Whelpling Eggs. Let's get in there, let's break down the fight, and then let's do the fight itself. Alright, so for Blind Mary, all of her regular mechanics are on the table. This circle right here, if your first unit that goes in will get mind controlled, you want to make sure you're not getting a kobold mind controlled, but as it's heading for one of these gold nodes, or maybe your quillboar, unless you're doing that on purpose. You'd rather be a harpy or a whelpling egg, maybe even a safe pilot, because then you could deal with that threat elsewhere. Before we have to worry about any sort of mind control, though, we got to deal with these wolves. We're going to do that with our harpies, our whelping eggs. We're going to try not to use a spell on them. Remember, if you have to use your harpies here, you got to wait till they hit the tower and get knocked out of their stealth. After that, though, the big threat is going to be all the enemy units that get summoned in here. And if we lose gold priority, we will get overrun very quickly. So, there's a Dark Iron Miner that's going to try and get gold from us. There's an Abomination we got to try and save our Execute for. Ogre Mage, Pyromancer will try and save Blizzard for them. There is the Unbound Skeletal unit that will try and backdoor you, and of course these Stealth Wolves. Lots to deal with. Our main priority is just to maintain the gold advantage, not get our base destroyed, and in the final minute we will dive on the boss. Quick note, if you are about 3-4 levels above this, if you got like level 17 units, simply dive bomb the boss. Don't mess with any of this. Throw your whelplings down first, one will get mind control, then quillboar, then safety pilot, execute blizzard, the boss is dead. Alright, but let's do the gameplay on a punch across even level. We got whelplings. I'm going to... We're gonna have to let up that gold, unfortunately. There comes the attack. I'm gonna throw him in there, just so I can try and get control. There we go, I didn't want that to happen. I don't know why they're hitting through the bridge there. That's the second time it's happened to me today, though. Alright, but the safety pilot is abusing that high ground, getting in good work. That safety pilot is probably going to be mind controlled here in a second. There it is. We'll deal with that safety pilot and with our own safety pilot, and then we'll try and get more gold priority. Ooh, this is too juicy. We'll try and save our units here. Perfect. Let's grab that summoning stone. Our kobold here should reach that gold node. We'll let the safety pilot just hit us a little bit. Now, see, it would be very greedy for us to try and push this more damage. Not worth it whatsoever, so let's throw in our whelplings to deal with that. I'll even throw a blizzard to slow this ogre mage down. Was trying to save those guys. That wolf will kill itself. Let's take care of this. And let's get our kobold mind controlled here to save our safety pilot. We'll throw our harpies to deal with that. We'll try and get some more gold. And with any luck, we'll be able to... we did not get that kobold. In fact, our harpies are just going to die. Let's throw these whelplings in. Take care of that pyromancer. Looks like we have the unbound unit. Was used to take out our kobold. That's very annoying. And our safety pilot was turned against us. That's not a big deal, though. Let's just take her out. And our safety pilot was just outside the range of that summoning stone, apparently. We're going to wait till this abomination is closer to us. Let's build up some gold here. Let's grab that summoning stone, throw our kobold over. Now that he is outside of the bridge, we'll throw our harpies so they don't just fly right over top of him. I'll even execute just to make it die faster. And we're down to 1 minute now, so we're still just maintaining whatever we can here. Hopefully we can save this kobold. We absolutely can. That's great. That ogre mage is going to die to one-shot the tower, so I'm just going to let him hit me. I'll take care of the pyromancer. Let's go get that gold node right there. Oh, him living with 1 life, that's a pain in the butt. Also, these unbound units taking out by kobold before they get to the gold. Very, very, very annoying. But 42 seconds remaining. If we can maintain this, we're going to be A-okay. Harpies are just going to completely ignore all the objectives. And so I will use execute right here to take out these units. The lag made me miss the ogre mage, so that's great. But 20 seconds left, and then it's going to be go time for us. So we're pretty confident we got this dub. Let's get this gold right here. If the kobold would ever play. We'll use our harpies on the wolf. There we go. And here we go. It's now go time. The first thing I'm going to do is address these guys here. 1 minute is a long time. Kobolds can go down the middle. And now we will start dive bombing the boss. And we have so much time at our fingertips here with this double gold. You can see how the boss is simply just going to start melting. Once those eggs pop, we'll throw our Quillbore. We'll get our Blizzard going. We still have half of the time allotted from that additional gold phase. And there you go. So definitely a lot more chaotic than Morbent Fel, but Mor'Ladim, it was easier to take some damage on our base without getting completely overwhelmed, and then to deal with these units, especially that Abomination with the Execute, I found super helpful. I'm interested to know how you guys feel about that one. I know that looked bad, but you got to remember, your tower is a resource for you to use. You don't need your tower to be 100% life. There's no reason for that. Use it to try and stall out, gain some gold, and don't panic place pieces. That's a very important thing, is never panic place pieces. Just accept the loss, or let your gold build up and try and do a good counter push instead. All right, let's head on over to the last boss. All right, and the very last boss of Duskwood is going to be Abercrombie. And luckily for us, he's super easy. We're going to be using the exact same army we've used for this entire zone. That's right, these 6 units for the entirety of Duskwood. And once you are getting these books, you're going to level them up. I've purposely not been collecting books so that we can do this with under-leveled units or evenly leveled units. So let's get into the map. Let's talk about the mechanics and let's do the fight. So for Abercrombie, the big mechanic, it's very similar to the normal mode, where there is just a giant abomination that's going to come out, walk down, and absolutely destroy us. Unlucky for that abomination, we have this fancy spell called Execute. So what we're going to do is we're going to attack the right side, try and get control out of this tower. When that abomination comes, we'll hit him with an Execute, and we'll get our harpies or our flame whelps to get over there and take the rest of him out. It's as simple as that. Also, Abercrombie does do a poison pool, so don't try and hit him with your whelplings directly. You want your whelplings to pop elsewhere, otherwise they'll stand in that pool and die. You're better off taking this boss down with your harpies, safety pilot, and then the quill board to turn the boss around. Alright, let's do some gameplay. Alright, let's start with our whelps right here. Throw our harpies there too. Whoops, I should have safety piloted way further away. Alright, so we got that base. Execute. See all that great damage it just did. Let me throw my fire whelps over here. You can see that single target attack it does. On the whelps anyway. It does one swing target on the ground or on the air, one or the other. We'll get over to our Execute again. We'll take him out. And now we're just going to focus on the boss. You can see how Execute is just playing a huge, huge, huge role here. I'll let that gold slide. Let's get our flame whelps out there. Try and get our harpies next. I'll throw the Kobold to try and get gold so we can get our Quillbore, foot this boss around, and go from there. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the boss to flip in time, but we see we're going to do really, really good damage here. And now we'll just reset. We'll do it again. Throw our safety pilot down. Just let our gold build. We're stalling just like the boss. If that abomination comes out, we still have another execute we can throw down. Some free damage on the boss. Not mad at that. There's a ghoul. We're up to 8 gold now, so this will be the final push. We'll wait till we're at 10, drop these whelp eggs. Let the ghoul pop the whelp eggs before we summon in the harpies. Alright. These are all bombardment units, so our flying units do not care about their existence whatsoever. Those Murlocs are going to do absolutely nothing to us. Let's drop the execute, drop the Quillbore, drop the blizzard, and say goodbye to Mr. Abercrombie. And it's as easy as that. Execute is just way too good a spell. Alright, so that's going to be it for Duskwood. I love that we were able to use a full army for every single node. I didn't do all the stages because I didn't want to outlevel. You see these harpies are level 13. I'm very excited for what comes next, alright? I'm going to snap my fingers and I'm going to do the rest of the stages. I'm going to collect all the tomes and then we're going to go spend our gold. I'll show you, I'll do one tome with you guys so you can kind of see my mentality. I'm always putting experience on these 6 units that you see, most particularly Execute, Safety Pilot, and the Whelpling Eggs. Quillbore is very good, but he kind of does his job low level. But when I see something like this, I don't use either of these units. I'm always trying to get whatever unit is lowest level up, because that gets my collection power higher, and that'll help snowball my Safe Pilot, my Whelplings, whatever the case may be. But if I see one of my main units, I'm going to throw the experience on them. Right here, double experience, kind of a waste, but it is what it is. Alright, so I'm going to go in, I'm going to do the rest of these with this exact same family, and then we'll come back to spend the gold and show you what I'm working on. Alright, so I've now done all the heroics that I want to do. I see I left Mor'Ladim. I got my gold from the other 3 stages. I'm going to go spend the gold. I'll show you what I'm going to spend it on. Looks like I unlocked the Blackrock Vault while I was pushing the heroics. And I want to try and make that Mor'Ladim stage a little bit easier. The infectious swipes will definitely help. That is my preferred talent for the Harpies. It absolutely wrecks. The stealth on the Huntress is also an amazing one, so we'll grab that as well. And now I want to try and hunt down Execute. So I would love to have a stronger Execute. I will get extra safety. Oh, momentum after connecting a charge immediately. Okay, do we want this for the Tauren Charger as well? So that's 3 talents in a row. That's going to cost us quite a bit of gold. And now I'll start doing my Safety Pilot. Fury is also the one I like for chickens, but I don't want to get 4 talents off the gate there. So I'll push my Safety Pilot, my Whelplings, if I can get them to rare, right? That's an additional level for them. While we go, though, I'll try and get characters that I already have near 1 out of 3, preferably not leaders. Try and build our collection power up higher. And oh, I do like Pyroblast for her. We're seeing a lot of the talents that I really like to use. Let's recycle the grid, though. I don't want to use too many talents. I want to get some more points in electric execution, rather. I would love to get that leveled up. Blizzard's already 4 out of 10, so let's put a level in that. Looks like we're not going to see it. It's probably just not very readily available this week, so I guess we won't worry too much about it. Fire Elemental we'll end up using in the later sections with our Rend. Ogre Mage, we already have him at Uncommon. I guess we'll do Cheat Death just to get a level on that. The Shaman, I don't hate the Shaman. She can be useful. I just, personally, I haven't really found too great a use for her. But we'll do it here anyway. The Grunts are useless. At 5 gold to come out, they're just not very good. There is a nice talent for our Blizzard, so enemies within take 30% additional damage from physical sources. I do believe this is affected by the Harpies attacks. So we're going to wait. We're going to go beat Mor'Ladim. We'll struggle through that one. Once again, out-level Mor'Ladim. It's super tough. We'll come back and pick that up, and then we're going to push on to Stranglethorn Vale. So once again, leave Mor'Ladim for after you've collected all this free experience. It's going to help you out quite a bit. Let me know how this guy did for you. I'm not trying to shoehorn these 6 units into everywhere. It's just the freedom that they give you with the Unbound and with that execution seems to really help in this Duskwood stage with a lot of abominations and a lot of the scarier units, like the Ogre Mage and everything like that. But yeah, let me know how this guide helped you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. So I'm just going to add this in at the very end. This isn't the guide when you are even level trying to push. This is the guide now that I've beaten the rest of Duskwood, collected all the tomes, and spent the gold, and I want you to notice the difference in how we can approach this level. So first things first, let me just go ahead and throw my Blizzard on this side as soon as it spawns. I'll drop my Kobold, then I'll drop my Harpies. I'll throw the Safety Pilot right here to deal with that. You notice the Blizzard took out the range units right away. We're now going here, we're taking out all the units along the way. We're in great position. Let's go ahead and drop our Whelps in there. They explode, we drop our Quillboar. And look how much easier this is. There's no micromanaging at this point. We've simply gotten to the boss. We're ripping the boss apart. We're going to do that twice, and then it's just over. So that's the difference a few extra levels on your characters can do. This is why I like doing everything on a punch across, by the way. I don't ever want to be showing this as like a, do this for the guide. I mean, obviously this is very usable, right? But when we start getting to the later levels, just getting a few levels on your characters, that's actually a big task. Like that's not something that's free and easy. I'll drop my Whelps in here. And then we'll drop an Execute to finish this off. So you see, last the whole time, muscle it out. Once you get 2 extra levels on your characters, it's a completely different gameplay. And that was using Hogger, which I didn't play at all. We didn't get any kind of free gold like we got from Chargler or anything like that. So when I say like, hey, just chill, hold up, don't beat your head against it, you could wait. You could wait. That 300 gold will still be there waiting for you. But if you're a big dork like me, maybe you want to do it at least once or twice at even level for the accomplished feeling. I don't know. Kind of weirdo. Hope you enjoyed that. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.